Well, it's not Saudi Arabia alone. Washington is jointly chairing these talks with the Saudis. I think that it really depends on the battlefield position for both of these forces. Right now, they're locked in a pitched battle. Both sides continuing to believe that they can win, but at the same time, Washington and Riyadh are powerful states, and they need to show some deference to them, which is why I think both sides have sent representatives to these talks. They can't be ignored. At the same time, I think that they are probably not fully committed to the idea of a cessation of hostilities, at least while the fighting is as fierce as it is, and as long as both sides continue to believe that they can win. So I do fear that they might be going through the motions at these talks right now to placate the international community, to avoid pressure and sanctions from the West, but without having any real commitment to making peace at this moment.
So what do you think are the current and long-term consequences of this war for Sudan and the region?
Well, we've already seen just the total destruction and devastation that has been visited on the capital and other cities around the country. So the industrial base seems to have been really destroyed or significantly damaged in the last 3 weeks of fighting. Obviously, there's the human cost of not just the deaths, but the displacement and the destruction of residential neighborhoods from the fighting. So in terms of reconstruction, Sudan was already suffering from a huge economic collapse going back a number of years. So the bill for just getting back to square one is going to be enormous already for the Sudanese. But I think if we look beyond Sudan, we have to continue to worry about the region. We continue to see reports of the Rapid Support Forces reaching out to militia groups in Libya, in Central African Republic. We've now seen Darfuri leader Mini Manawi returning to Darfur, potentially opening up a new front against the RSF there, perhaps drawing in Chadian forces. So again, as this fight continues to be prolonged, I think the risk of other countries becoming more involved is only heightened.
Where do you see Sudan's future?
Well, it's hard to look into the future and see where democracy comes into play, quite honestly, given where we are right now, given the challenges that lie ahead. I think that what needs to happen in the short term to put us on a path that might eventually lead to that is, again, to empower civilian leaders. I think we have seen from the very beginning, from 2019, when a Western coalition forced a kind of forced marriage on the civilians and the military, giving them equal billing in the government. I think we have to get away from that model where we think that the military provides some measure of stability or that the military has a veto over constitutional decision-making in the country. I think we have to get away from that. We have to prioritize the voice of civilians and put them on the path of leadership. Whether they're prepared to govern or not, I think we have to force that, because anytime that we don't, the military uses that opportunity to step in and to reassert itself and to consolidate its control and its power, and that's what we have to guard against going forward.